Urgent Dallas Cowboys fans. Do not miss this. What just happened? You won't believe this one. But before we reveal the big news, make sure to subscribe to the channel, because here, we bring you daily videos with the latest Dallas Cowboys updates. And to not miss anything, activate the notifications. Alright, guys, today we're diving into some intriguing NFL rumors and potential blockbuster moves that could shake up the league, and, more specifically, the Dallas Cowboys. Now, I know what you're thinking, what's the latest? What's brewing behind the scenes that could impact the Cowboys' defense or their roster strategy? Well, hold on tight, because we're about to unpack a story that's been gaining some traction among NFL insiders, and it involves a name that every Cowboys fan knows well, Trevon Diggs. But before we get into the details, let's set the stage a little. The Cowboys, as we all know, have been one of the most talked about teams this offseason, especially on defense. And it's no secret that the secondary has been a topic of concern for a while now. With the departure of some veteran players and the need to develop young talent, Dallas has been in search of reliable options to bolster that backfield. Now, contrasting that with what's happening across the league, especially with teams like the Baltimore Ravens. The Ravens, historically known for their stout defenses, had a rough time last season when it came to pass defense. They were among the worst in the league, struggling to contain opposing quarterbacks and receivers. The primary issues? Well, a lot of it came down to consistency and injuries. Baltimore tried to patch things up by drafting Georgia safety Malaki Starks, hoping to add some depth and playmaking ability in the secondary. But, as many of us know, fixing a pass defense isn't just about drafting a safety. Cornerback play is critical, and that's where the real problems were. Most of those struggles stemmed from their cornerback position. Let's be honest, last season was a challenge for Baltimore's secondary. Chidobe Awuzie, who was supposed to be a key piece, battled injuries and couldn't stay on the field consistently. The Ravens also brought in Nate Wiggins, a promising rookie drafted late in the NFL draft, hoping that he could develop into a reliable starter. But in the meantime, the main guy holding it all together was veteran Marlon Humphrey. And you know what? Humphrey, while still playing at a high level, is aging, and everyone in Baltimore knows that. They need more help, more depth, and more reliable players to make that secondary formidable again. This is where the rumors start heating up. There's talk among NFL writers about a potential trade that could involve Dallas Trevon Diggs heading over to Baltimore. Now, I know what you're thinking, why would the Cowboys trade away one of their most talented players? Well, that's exactly what we're going to explore. Anthony Palacios from Last Word on Sports has been speculating about this possibility, and he's suggesting that Baltimore could be eyeing Diggs as a solution for their secondary woes. The argument? Baltimore's secondary is in need of a rebuild, and Diggs, despite some recent struggles, remains a proven talent with all-pro credentials. It's a tempting idea for Baltimore. They get a star cornerback who can come in and immediately boost their unit. But, let's pause here for just a second. Think about what's involved in a trade like this. Diggs, currently recovering from knee surgery, is on a hefty contract, $97 million over several years, with a cap hit of around $12.5 million this season. That's a significant investment for a player who's coming back from injury, and the question is, how soon can he return to his prime level of play? Because let's be honest, Diggs has shown flashes of brilliance, especially during his rookie season out of Alabama in 2020, when he was one of the league's most disruptive cornerbacks. But lately, his production has dipped somewhat, and the knee surgeries haven't helped. Multiple major surgeries mean that his recovery timeline is uncertain, and the risk for Baltimore is real. Now, here's where some fans might get confused. Why would Baltimore, a team desperate to improve their secondary, consider trading for a player who might not be fully healthy until midseason? Well, that's the dilemma. It's not just about talent, it's about timing, health, and financial considerations. Diggs' cap hit is manageable this season, but as the contract progresses, the costs will escalate, reaching above $20 million per year. For a team looking to rebuild or remain flexible financially, that's a big ask, especially for a player who might only be a backup initially. Baltimore could see him as a safety net, someone who could eventually step in once he's fully recovered, providing depth and experience. But there's another factor to consider. In the current NFL landscape, teams are always looking for upgrades, and cornerbacks are at a premium. Dallas, for their part, has been smart in drafting young talent, like Trevon Diggs from East Carolina. Yes, Reeler is still recovering from his own knee injury, but the Cowboys see him as a future piece. Still, that doesn't necessarily mean they're not open to trading for a veteran if the right offer comes along. The big question is, would Dallas be willing to part ways with Diggs? And more importantly, should they? As much as Diggs has had his ups and downs, he's still a game-changing talent when healthy. His ability to shadow top receivers, create turnovers, and make game-changing plays is unmatched. But recent production dips, combined with injury concerns, might make the Cowboys hesitant. They've invested heavily in him, and trading him would be a major move. Plus, the Cowboys secondary, led by Darren Bland and others, is still in the process of developing chemistry. Moving Diggs at this point could be risky unless Dallas gets an offer that truly makes sense for their long-term plans. And let's not forget, the NFL trade market is always unpredictable. Sometimes, teams make moves that surprise everyone, like the Rams trading for Jalen Ramsey or the Broncos acquiring Sean Payton's former players. It all depends on needs, timing, and the willingness to gamble on a player's comeback. For Baltimore, acquiring Diggs could be a gamble worth taking if they believe his talent can return to his rookie form, but the reality is, the risk is substantial. Especially considering his knee surgeries, those injuries tend to linger, and a mid-season return might be the best-case scenario. Now, looking at the broader picture, this trade rumor highlights a lot of the ongoing strategic discussions in the NFL. Teams are weighing the benefits of acquiring proven stars versus developing young talent. The Cowboys, known for their strong drafting and talent development, might see Diggs as a trade chip if they believe their young corners are ready to step up. But at the same time, the allure of having a player of Diggs' caliber, when healthy, is too tempting for many teams to pass up. It's a classic dilemma: do you hold on to your star and try to fix the issues internally, or do you trade for someone who might give you an immediate boost but comes with risks? And speaking of the Cowboys' recent moves, they've been quite strategic. They've added pieces in the draft, like Reeler, and are clearly trying to build a resilient, versatile secondary. But the NFL is a league of stars, and sometimes, one superstar can change the course of a season. If Dallas chooses to keep Diggs, they're banking on his recovery and resurgence. If they trade him, they might be looking for a package that includes draft picks or younger players to bolster their roster for the long haul. So, what's the bottom line here? Well, it's a fascinating scenario to watch unfold. Baltimore's defense needs help, especially in the secondary, and Diggs could be a solution, if he recovers fully and if the Cowboys are willing to part with him. But given his injury history and the financial implications, it's a high-stakes gamble for both sides. The trade window isn't open yet, and it might not even happen until closer to the deadline, but the rumors are definitely swirling. And now, Dallas Cowboys fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Dallas Cowboys. Do you think it's worth trading Diggs for a shot at fixing Baltimore's secondary? Or do you believe the Cowboys should hold on to him and ride out the season hoping he returns to form? Remember, the NFL is unpredictable, and sometimes the biggest moves happen when we least expect them. So stay tuned, because I'll be watching this story closely and bringing you all the latest updates as they develop. Thanks for sticking with me today. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more in-depth NFL coverage, especially about our beloved Dallas Cowboys. Until next time, keep the faith, and let's hope for a season full of exciting surprises.